Beloved, chosen one. Your spirit didn't wander here by chance. It was pulled by the quiet thunder of heaven's approval. That striking on 1-1, blazing on the thumbnail, stopped you in your tracks and compelled you to click, didn't it? In Scripture, in Christian life, echoes the unity of the Godhead, the perfect alignment of Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, and the divine yes that seals a new beginning after every trial you've endured. This is no accident. You have finished the season of testing, and now doors of favor like never before are opening wide for you. God is not handing out the same old blessings. He is releasing brand new gifts that no one has ever seen or even dreamed of saved, only for those who stayed faithful when every voice told them to give up. Why are you watching right now? Is your soul leaping because you sense the shift? The sudden lightness where heaviness once lived? You passed. The wilderness refined you. The fire purified you, and now the storehouses of heaven are unlocking. This video is your receipt of victory, your invitation to step into abundance that defies logic and outruns your wildest prayers. Stay until the very end. We'll seal it with a prayer that downloads the full weight of what's yours. Declare your receipt, type 111 in the comments below, along with where you're watching from, as a public testimony that you're ready to receive what God has never given before. Hit like, subscribe to stay locked into this flow of revelation, and let your comments stand as a marker in the spirit realm. Heaven is watching, the angels are celebrating, and your next level starts now. The gift God is giving you is not temporary. It's eternal, woven into the very fabric of His unchanging character. This is not a fleeting moment of favor that flickers and fades with the seasons. It's a lifelong covenant of abundance sealed by the blood of Jesus and backed by the throne of grace. Imagine a river that never stops flowing, carving canyons through mountains, nourishing valleys for generations. Picture a well that never runs dry, drawing from the infinite depths of heaven itself, refreshing you in the hottest desert and the longest night. That is the nature of God's provision for you, chosen one, endless, inexhaustible, unstoppable. Psalm chapter 23 verse 1 mentions that, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." That's not a suggestion whispered in passing. It's a promise etched in stone, a declaration from the King of Kings. You will not lack. You will not struggle in vain. You will not be left wanting, scraping for crumbs while others feast. God is taking the weight of worry off your shoulders, the crushing load you've carried far too long, and replacing it with the assurance of His provision, a yoke that is easy and a burden that is light. Your financial burdens, those chains that have bound your steps and stolen your sleep, they're dissolving right now in the presence of His power. Your health concerns, the fears that have whispered defeat in quiet moments. They're fading like shadows at dawn. Your dreams that seemed out of reach, locked behind impossible doors. They're closer than you think, within arm's length, because heaven has moved on your behalf. This is the power of God's divine intervention in your life, not a distant miracle for someone else, but a personal encounter with the God who sees you, knows you, and loves you beyond measure. But here's the thing, chosen one. Receiving this gift requires faith, an active living trust that refuses to bow to circumstances. It requires you to trust in God's timing, even when the clock seems stuck and the calendar mocks your waiting. It requires you to believe in His promises, to stand on the Word like it's solid ground beneath your feet. Even when the world tells you it's impossible, shouting from every corner that dreams die and provision is for the lucky few, the enemy will try to sow doubt. They'll whisper that you're not worthy, that your past disqualifies you, that this is too good to be true, too extravagant for someone like you. But let me remind you of something that silences every lie. You are not defined by the world's limitations, its small thinking and smaller faith. You are defined by God's limitless love, a love that pursued you in your mess, redeemed you in your brokenness, and now elevates you in your obedience. Ephesians chapter 3 verse 20 affirms that God is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to His power that is at work within us. Immeasurably more, chosen one. Not measured out in teaspoons, but poured out in oceans. That's what's coming for you. Not just enough to get by scraping the bottom of the barrel, but more than enough overflowing banks and flooding the dry places. Not just provision that covers the bills, but overflow that changes your address, your influence, your impact. Not just survival hanging on by a thread in a world that chews up hope, but a life that thrives in every way, spiritually alive, emotionally, whole, relationally, rich, physically strong, and financially free. This divine gift is not just about you, though it will transform every corner of your world. It's about the legacy you will leave, the ripple effect that starts in your heart and reaches shores you'll never see. The wealth God is pouring into your life is not just for your comfort, though you will rest in peace you've never known. It's for your calling, the sacred assignment that burns in your bones. You are equipped to make a difference that echoes through eternity, to change lives with a word, a touch, a generous gift. You are being positioned to shift destinies, to pull families out of cycles of lack, to fund kingdom dreams that seemed impossible. The abundance flowing to you is fuel for the fire God has lit within you, resources to build what He has envisioned, to bless what He has called you to bless. This is covenant wealth, generational blessing kingdom finance, and it's yours because you passed the test and said yes to the process. Think of the impact you can have when you walk in divine abundance. You can support those in need, uplift communities, and spread God's love in ways you never thought possible. Your prosperity is a tool for His kingdom, a means to fulfill the purpose He has placed within you. Every dollar, every opportunity, every moment of favor is a chance to reflect His glory and show the world what happens when a chosen one says yes to God's plan. The transformation you're stepping into is not just physical or financial. It's spiritual. As you embrace this divine gift, your spirit will align more closely with God's will. You'll find yourself praying with boldness, speaking with authority, and walking with a confidence that comes from knowing you are backed by the Creator of the universe. This is not about arrogance, it's about assurance. You are a child of the King, chosen for greatness, destined for impact. The world may try to label you by your past, your circumstances, or your struggles, but God labels you by your purpose. You are His masterpiece, created for good works, as Ephesians chapter 2 verse 10 reminds us. And those good works are about to unfold in ways that will leave you in awe. Chosen one. The enemy is trembling because they see what's coming. They see the divine favor surrounding you, the light radiating from you, the purpose propelling you forward. They tried to stop you, but they failed. They tried to dim your light, but it only grew brighter. Now they stand in the shadow of your destiny, powerless against the God who has chosen you. Romans chapter 8 verse 31 confirms that if God is for us, who can be against us? No one chosen one. No force in heaven or on earth can stand against what God has ordained for you. The doors of opportunity are opening, the chains of lack are breaking, and the blessings are flowing. This is your moment to rise, to receive, to become everything God created you to be. As you step into this new season, you'll notice something remarkable. Your life is no longer ordinary. The mundane moments of your past are being replaced with divine appointments. The struggles that once defined you are giving way to victories that glorify God. People will look at you and wonder, how is this possible? They'll see the transformation in your appearance, the peace in your spirit, the abundance in your life, and they'll know it could only be the hand of God. This is not about boasting about yourself. It's about boasting about Him. Your life is becoming a living testimony, a beacon of hope that points others to the power of God's love and grace. But let me warn you, chosen one, with great blessing comes great responsibility. The gifts God is giving you are not just for your enjoyment, they are for His glory. You are being entrusted with wealth, influence, and favor, not to hoard, but to share. You are called to be a conduit of His love, a vessel of His grace, a light in the darkness. The more you give, the more you will receive. The more you pour out, the more God will pour in. This is the principle of divine abundance. What you sow, you reap. As you use your blessings to uplift others, to serve His kingdom, to make a difference, you will see an even greater outpouring of His favor. Chosen one, this is not a time to shrink back. This is a time to step forward with boldness to embrace the divine gift God is giving you to walk in the fullness of His plan. The world is waiting to see what happens when a chosen one says yes to God's call. Your family is waiting. Your community is waiting. The heavens are waiting. Every trial you've faced, every tear you've shed, every moment you chose faith over fear has led you to this moment. You are not here by accident. You are here by divine design. Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11 states that, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." That future is now chosen one. That hope is yours. That prosperity is at your doorstep. Let's take a moment to anchor this truth in your spirit. If you're feeling the weight of this message, if you're sensing the shift that's happening in your life, hit that like button, subscribe to join the countless chosen ones standing in their divine purpose, and leave a 111 in the comments. This is your declaration that you are ready to receive, ready to step into the miraculous. Don't just hear this message, claim it. Let the universe know you are prepared for what God has never given before. Now let's keep going, because the depth of this blessing is only beginning to unfold. This divine gift is not just about what you receive, it's about who you become. As God pours out His favor, you are stepping into a new identity, one that reflects His glory in every way. You are no longer the person defined by your past struggles or limited by the world's expectations. You are a chosen one, a child of the King, a vessel of His light. This identity shift is powerful. It changes the way you see yourself, the way you carry yourself, the way you move through the world. You'll notice it in the way you speak. Your words will carry authority. You'll feel it in the way you walk. Your steps will be guided by purpose. You'll see it in the way others respond to you. They'll be drawn to your light, captivated by the divine energy that surrounds you. The transformation God is bringing is not just for you, it's for the world around you. Your life is becoming a ripple effect, a wave of change that touches everyone you encounter. Think of the impact of people like Mother Teresa, who with nothing but faith and love transformed the lives of countless souls. Her presence alone was enough to shift atmospheres, to bring hope where there was despair. You chosen one carry that same potential. Your light is not meant to be hidden, it's meant to shine. Your blessings are not meant to be hoarded, they're meant to be shared. As you step into this divine gift, you'll find that your life becomes a magnet for miracles, a catalyst for change, a testimony to God's unending faithfulness. But here's the truth. This journey requires surrender. To receive what God has never given before, you must let go of the need to control the outcome. You must trust His timing, His methods, His plan. The world will tell you to hustle, to strive to force your way to success. But God's way is different. His way is about rest, about faith, about aligning with His will and letting Him do the heavy lifting. When you surrender, you make room for the miraculous. When you trust, you open the door to the impossible. When you let go, you allow God to step in and work wonders beyond your wildest dreams. Chosen one, the enemy is watching, and they are powerless against what's coming. They see the divine favor on your life, the light in your spirit, the fire in your soul. They tried to stop you, but they couldn't. They tried to dim your light, but it only grew brighter. Now they stand in awe of what God is doing in you. Psalm chapter 91 verse 7 mentions that 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. That's the protection surrounding you, chosen one. That's the power of God's favor. No weapon formed against you will prosper. No plan of the enemy will succeed. You are untouchable, unstoppable, undeniable. This is your season, chosen one, the season of receiving what God has never given before. The season of stepping into divine abundance, supernatural transformation, and unshakable purpose. The world is about to see what happens when a chosen one says yes to God's call. Your life is about to become a living miracle, a testament to His power, a beacon of His love. Every step you take, every decision you make, every moment you choose faith over fear is a declaration to the universe that you are ready to receive. ready to rise, ready to become everything God created you to be. As you walk into this new season, know that you are not alone. The God who chose you is with you. The heavens are cheering for you. The chosen ones around the world are standing with you. This is not just your moment. It's a movement of faith, of favor, of divine transformation. You are part of something bigger, something eternal, something that will echo through generations. Your life is a story of God's glory, and it's only just beginning. So stand firm, chosen one. Trust in His plan, embrace His gift, and watch as the world marvels at what God is doing in you. Chosen one, as you stand on the threshold of this divine moment, know that the gift God is preparing for you is not just a blessing, it's a revolution. It's a complete rewriting of your story. A transformation so profound that it will echo through the ages. The trials you faced, the battles you fought, the moments when you felt like giving up, they were all part of God's divine plan to prepare you for this. You were never meant to break under the weight of those challenges. You were meant to rise above them, to become a beacon of His glory, a living testament to His power. The world may have tried to define you by your struggles, but God defines you by your destiny. And that destiny is unfolding now in ways that will leave you breathless and the world in awe. This gift from God is not bound by the limitations of this world. It's not confined to what the human mind can comprehend or what society deems possible. This is a supernatural outpouring, a divine overflow that transcends time, space, and circumstance. Imagine a life where every door you need swings wide open, where every resource you require appears exactly when you need it, where every dream you've carried in your heart begins to take shape before your eyes. This is not a fantasy, chosen one. It's the reality God is crafting for you. He is aligning the stars, orchestrating the moments, and preparing the path for you to walk in unparalleled favor. Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 2 affirms that all these blessings will come on you and accompany you if you obey the Lord your God. Obedience, faith, and trust. These are the keys that unlock the floodgates of His provision. You've already shown that obedience. You've already walked in faith. You've already trusted when the world told you to doubt. And now God is saying, it's time to receive what He has held in reserve for you since the beginning of time. This gift is not just about wealth or health. It's about authority. It's about stepping into a position of divine influence where your very presence shifts atmospheres, heals hearts, and redirects destinies. People will look at you and sense something different, something undeniable. They'll see the light in your eyes, the strength in your spirit, the purpose in your every move. This is not about fitting into the world's mold. It's about breaking that mold entirely and showing the world what happens when God chooses someone for greatness. The enemy sees this chosen one and they are shaken. They thought they could distract you, derail you, diminish you, but every scheme they devised has only made you stronger. Every trap they set has only sharpened your vision. Psalm chapter 34 verse 19 reminds us that the righteous person may have many troubles, but the Lord delivers him from them all. You are that righteous person, chosen one. You faced troubles, but God has delivered you. And now He is not just delivering you from trouble. He is delivering you into triumph. The enemy's plans have backfired, and what they meant for your harm, God is using for your glory. Your life is becoming a living proof that no force of darkness can stand against the light of God's chosen. This divine gift is multifaceted, touching every aspect of your existence. It's not just about financial breakthroughs, though they are coming. It's not just about physical renewal, though your body will reflect God's glory. It's about a spiritual awakening that redefines who you are and how you move through the world. You'll find yourself thinking differently, seeing opportunities where others see obstacles, finding peace where others find chaos. This is the power of God's transformation at work in you. It's a shift that starts in your spirit and radiates outward, changing the way you speak, the way you act, the way you love. People will notice this change and they won't be able to ignore it. They'll be drawn to you not because of what you have, but because of who you are, a chosen one radiating God's light. Let's talk about that light for a moment. This is not a metaphor, it's a tangible force. As God pours out His gift, your presence will carry a divine glow and energy that others can feel. It's the kind of light that makes strangers stop and stare, that makes friends ask, "What's different about you?" that makes enemies pause in their tracks. This light is not something you create. It's something God places within you. It's the same light that shone through Moses when he came down from the mountain, his face radiant from God's presence. Exodus chapter 34 verse 29 tells us that when Moses came down from Mount Sinai with the 2 tablets of the covenant law in his hands, he was not aware that his face was radiant because he had spoken with the Lord. That's you, chosen one. You may not even realize how brightly you're shining, but others will see it and they will be changed by it. This transformation is not just for your benefit, it's for the world. God is positioning you to be a catalyst, a change maker, a force for good in a world that desperately needs it. Your blessings are not meant to be hoarded. They're meant to be shared. Your wealth is not meant to be spent on fleeting pleasures. It's meant to build legacies that glorify God. Your health is not just for your comfort. It's for the energy to fulfill your divine purpose. Every gift God is giving you is a tool, a weapon, a key to unlock the potential He has placed within you. You are being equipped to touch lives, to shift communities, to leave a mark that will not fade. This is the power of being a chosen one. You don't just receive, you become a conduit of God's grace. But to fully step into this gift, you must release the doubts that linger. The enemy will try to whisper lies, telling you that you're not ready, that you're not worthy, that this is too big for you. But let me remind you, chosen one, you were chosen before you were born. Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5 declares that, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you before you were born. I set you apart." You were set apart for this moment, for this gift, for this purpose. The doubts may come, but they have no power over you. The fears may rise, but they cannot stand against the truth of God's word. You are ready because He says you are. You are worthy because He chose you. You are capable because His strength is made perfect in your weakness. This is a moment of divine alignment, chosen one. The heavens are moving on your behalf, orchestrating opportunities that will astonish you. Doors you didn't even know existed are about to swing wide open. Connections you never imagined are about to form. Resources you couldn't have dreamed of are about to flow into your hands. This is not about luck or coincidence. This is about God's divine plan unfolding in real time. Psalm chapter 37 verse 4 states that, "Take delight in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart." Your desires, your dreams, your deepest longings. They are not random. They were planted in you by God, and now He is bringing them to fruition in ways that will leave you in awe. As you step into this season of receiving, you'll notice a shift in your perspective. Where you once saw limitations, you'll now see possibilities. Where you once felt fear, you'll now feel faith. Where you once carried burdens, you'll now carry purpose. This is the power of God's transformation. It changes not just your circumstances, but your entire way of being. You'll find yourself making decisions with confidence, speaking with authority, and moving with a boldness that comes from knowing you are backed by the Creator of the universe. This is not about becoming someone new. It's about becoming who you were always meant to be, a chosen one, radiating God's glory, walking in His purpose, living in His abundance. The world is about to take notice, chosen one. Those who once overlooked you will see you in a new light. Those who doubted you will stand in awe of what God is doing. Those who tried to hold you back will watch as you soar to heights they never imagined. This is not about pride or proving others wrong. It's about proving God right. Your life is a testimony to His faithfulness, a living proof that His promises are true. Numbers chapter 23 verse 19 confirms that God is not human that He should lie, not a human being that He should change His mind. Does He speak and then not act? Does He promise and not fulfill? Every promise God has made to you is coming to pass. Every word He has spoken over your life is being fulfilled. This is your moment to receive, to rise, to shine. Let's anchor this truth in your spirit. If you're feeling the fire of this message, if you sense the shift happening in your soul, hit that like button. Subscribe to join thousands of chosen ones embracing their divine calling, and drop a 111 in the comments. This is your declaration to the universe that you are ready to step into the fullness of God's gift. Don't just listen, act. Let the heavens know you are claiming what is yours. Now let's keep going, because the depth of this transformation is only beginning to unfold. This divine gift is not a one-time event. It's a continuous flow. It's a river of blessings that grows stronger, wider, deeper with every step you take in faith. Imagine a life where every need is met before you even ask, where every dream is realized before you fully articulate it, where every step is guided by divine wisdom. This is the life God is calling you to, a life of overflow, of abundance, of unshakable peace. John chapter 10 verse 10 mentions that, "I have come that they may have life and have it to the full." That fullness is yours, chosen one. It's not a distant hope. It's a present reality. God is not waiting for you to earn it. He's waiting for you to receive it. But receiving requires trust. It requires you to let go of the need to control every outcome, to plan every detail, to predict every step. The world teaches you to strive, to hustle, to force your way to success. But God's way is different. His way is about surrender, about aligning with His will and letting Him lead. When you trust Him, you make room for miracles. When you let go, you open the door to the impossible. Proverbs chapter 3 verses 5 through 6 affirms that, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight." Your path is being made straight, chosen one. Your journey is being guided. Your destiny is being fulfilled. This gift is also about impact. As God pours out His blessings, He is equipping you to make a difference in the world. Your wealth is not just for your comfort, it's for your calling. Your health is not just for your enjoyment, it's for your purpose. Your transformation is not just for your benefit, it's for the glory of God. You are being positioned to touch lives, to shift communities, to leave a legacy that will echo through generations. Think of Esther, who was chosen for such a time as this to save her people. You too are chosen for such a time as this to bring light to the darkness, hope to the hopeless, love to the broken. Your life is becoming a beacon, a testimony, a movement. The enemy knows this, and they are powerless to stop it. They see the divine favor on your life, the light in your spirit, the fire in your soul. They tried to dim your light, but it only grew brighter. They tried to silence your voice, but it only grew stronger. Now they stand in the shadow of your destiny, watching as God's plan unfolds. Isaiah chapter 54 verse 17 states that, "No weapon forged against you will prevail, and you will refute every tongue that accuses you." No accusation can stand against you. No scheme can stop you. You are a chosen one, backed by the power of God, walking in His purpose, radiating His glory. This transformation is not just about what you receive, it's about who you inspire. As you step into this divine gift, others will see what's possible. Your family will be inspired by your faith. Your friends will be uplifted by your courage. Your community will be transformed by your generosity. Your life is becoming a ripple effect, a wave of change that touches everyone around you. You are not just receiving a gift, you are becoming a gift. A gift to the world, a gift to the kingdom, a gift to the God who chose you. Every step you take, every decision you make, every moment you choose faith over fear is a declaration that you are ready to receive what God has never given before. As you walk this path, you'll notice something incredible. Your perspective is shifting. Where you once saw obstacles, you now see opportunities. Where you once felt fear, you now feel peace. Where you once carried burdens, you now carry purpose. This is the power of God's transformation. It changes not just your circumstances, but your entire way of being. You'll find yourself making decisions with confidence, speaking with authority, and moving with a boldness that comes from knowing you are backed by the Creator of the universe. This is not about becoming someone new. It's about becoming who you were always meant to be. A chosen one, radiating God's glory, walking in His purpose, living in His abundance. The world is watching, chosen one. Those who doubted you are about to see the truth. Those who overlooked you are about to take notice. Those who tried to hold you back are about to witness your rise. This is not about proving them wrong. It's about proving God right. Your life is a testimony to His faithfulness, a living proof that His promises are true. Every promise He has made to you is coming to pass. Every word He has spoken over your life is being fulfilled. This is your moment to receive, to rise, to shine. The heavens are open, the blessings are flowing, and the gift God has never given before is yours to claim. Chosen one, as you stand in this divine moment, know that the gift God is unveiling for you is not just a reward. It's a mantle. It's a sacred calling, a divine assignment that sets you apart as a beacon of His light in a world shrouded in shadows. You've walked through trials that would have broken others, faced challenges that would have dimmed lesser lights, and yet here you are, unwavering, radiant, and ready to receive what God has prepared specifically for you. This is not a random moment in time. It's a divine intersection where your faith, your resilience, and your purpose collide with God's infinite power. The heavens are aligning, the earth is shifting, and the blessings flowing toward you are unlike anything the world has ever seen. You are stepping into a season where the impossible becomes your reality, where the ordinary is transformed into the extraordinary, where your life becomes a living testament to God's unmatched glory. This gift from God is not just about what you receive. It's about what you reflect on. As you embrace this divine outpouring, your life will begin to mirror the very essence of God's love, His power, and His grace. People will look at you and see something they can't explain, a peace that defies circumstances, a strength that transcends struggles, a joy that radiates from within. This is the power of God's transformation at work in you. It's not just about financial abundance, though wealth is coming. It's not just about physical vitality, though your body will reflect His glory. It's about a spiritual awakening so profound that it changes the way you see the world and the way the world sees you. Matthew chapter 5 verse 16 confirms that, "Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." Your light is shining, chosen one, and it's drawing others to the God who chose you. The enemy is watching, and they are powerless against this divine shift. They thought they could keep you bound, trapped in cycles of doubt, fear, or lack. But every chain they tried to place on you has been broken. Every lie they whispered has been exposed by the truth of God's word. You've passed their tests not by your own strength, but by the power of the one who lives within you. 1 John chapter 4 verse 4 declares that the one who is in you is greater than the one who is in the world. That's why the enemy's plans have crumbled. That's why their schemes have failed. You are not just a survivor. You are a conqueror, a chosen one destined to walk in victory. The world may not understand it yet, but they will soon see the undeniable evidence of God's hand on your life. This divine gift is not a static moment. It's a dynamic flow. It's a river of blessings that grows stronger with every act of faith, every step of obedience, every moment you choose to trust God's plan over the world's noise. Imagine a life where every need is met with divine precision, where every dream is fulfilled with supernatural clarity, where every challenge is met with unshakable confidence. This is the life God is calling you to, a life where His provision is not just sufficient, but abundant, not just timely, but perfect, not just enough, but overflowing. Malachi chapter 3 verse 10 mentions that, "Test me in this, says the Lord Almighty, and see if I will not throw open the floodgates of heaven and pour out so much blessing that there will not be room enough to store it." That's the promise for you, chosen one. The floodgates are opening, and the blessings are pouring out. As you step into this season, you'll notice a shift in your relationships. The people who once drained you, who doubted you, who couldn't see your divine purpose, will begin to fade from your life. This is not a loss. It's a divine realignment. God is removing what no longer serves His plan and bringing in connections that align with your calling. New relationships will form people who see your light, who honor your purpose, who walk with you in faith. These are divine appointments orchestrated by God to propel you forward. You'll find mentors who guide you, partners who uplift you, and communities that celebrate you. This is part of the gift, a network of souls who reflect God's love and amplify His work in your life. But let's be clear. Chosen one, this transformation requires courage. To receive what God has never given before, you must be willing to step into the unknown, to trust His leading even when the path isn't clear. The world will tempt you to stay comfortable, to cling to what's familiar, to doubt the magnitude of what God is doing. But you were not created for comfort. You were created for greatness. Joshua chapter 1 verse 9 affirms that, "Have I not commanded you, be strong and courageous? Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." God is with you, chosen one. He is guiding you, protecting you, empowering you to walk boldly into this new season. This divine gift is also about wisdom. As God pours out His blessings, He is equipping you with a clarity of mind that cuts through the noise of the world. You'll find yourself making decisions with precision, seeing opportunities where others see obstacles, discerning truth where others see confusion. This wisdom is not of this world. It's divine, rooted in the Spirit of God. James chapter 1 verse 5 promises that if any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. You've asked, chosen one, and God is answering. He is filling you with insight, guiding your steps and illuminating your path. This wisdom will lead you to opportunities that align with your purpose, to decisions that honor God, to a life that reflects His glory. The world will try to define you by its standards, by your past, your mistakes, your circumstances. But God defines you by His truth. You are not your failures. You are not your struggles. You are a chosen one, handpicked by the Creator of the universe to carry His light, to fulfill His purpose, to receive His blessings. This gift is not just about what you gain. It's about who you become. You are becoming a leader, a healer, a visionary. You are becoming someone who shifts atmospheres, who changes lives, who leaves a legacy of faith and love. The world may not see it yet, but they will. They will see the divine transformation, the supernatural favor, the unshakable purpose that defines you. Let's anchor this moment, chosen one. If you feel the fire of God's truth burning in your spirit, if you sense the shift happening in your life, hit that like button. Subscribe to join thousands of chosen ones walking in divine purpose, and drop a 111 in the comments. This is your declaration to the universe that you are ready to receive what God has prepared. Don't just hear this message, claim it. Let the heavens know you are stepping into your divine destiny. Now let's dive deeper, because the magnitude of this gift is only beginning to unfold. This transformation is not just personal, it's generational. The blessings God is pouring out on you will not stop with you. They will flow to your family, your children, your children's children. You are breaking cycles of lack, of struggle, of doubt. You are establishing a legacy of faith, of abundance, of divine favor. Think of Abraham, who was called by God to be the father of many nations. His obedience, his faith, his trust in God's promise changed the course of history. Your obedience, your faith, your trust is doing the same. You are not just receiving a gift, you are becoming a gift to generations yet to come. Your life is a seed planted by God, destined to grow into a tree of blessing that shades and shelters those who come after you. The enemy sees this, and they are desperate to stop it. They know the impact of a chosen one walking in their full authority. They know the power of a life transformed by God's hand. But their desperation is futile. Psalm chapter 121 verses 7 through 8 states that the Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life. The Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore. You are protected, chosen one. You are covered by the blood of Jesus, surrounded by the angels of heaven, empowered by the Spirit of God. No scheme of the enemy can touch you. No plan of darkness can derail you. You are stepping into a season where God's protection is your shield, His favor is your strength, and His gift is your victory. This divine gift is also about freedom. Freedom from the burdens that once weighed you down. Freedom from the fears that once held you back. freedom from the limitations that once defined you. God is breaking every chain, removing every obstacle, and opening every door. You are no longer bound by the past, by what others think, by what the world says is possible. You are free to dream, free to soar, free to become everything God created you to be. John chapter 8 verse 36 confirms that, "So if the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed." That freedom is yours, chosen one. It's a freedom that empowers you to live boldly, to love deeply, to give generously. It's a freedom that transforms not just your life, but the lives of everyone around you. As you embrace this gift, you'll find that your heart is changing. Where there was once resentment, there is now forgiveness. Where there was once fear, there is now faith. Where there was once scarcity, there is now abundance. This is the work of the Holy Spirit within you, renewing your mind, softening your heart, aligning your soul with God's perfect will. You'll find yourself loving more deeply, giving more freely, trusting more fully. This is not just a transformation of circumstances. It's a transformation of character. You are becoming a reflection of God's love, a vessel of His grace, a light in the darkness. The world is about to see what happens when a chosen one steps into their divine purpose. Your life is becoming a story of triumph, a testimony of faith, a masterpiece of God's design. People will look at you and see the impossible made possible, the broken whole, the ordinary made extraordinary. They'll see the wealth, the health, the joy, and they'll know it could only come from God. This is not about boasting about yourself. It's about boasting about Him. Your life is a living proof that God's promises are true, that His plans are perfect, that His love is unending. You are a chosen one, and the gift He is giving you is changing everything. Chosen one, as you stand in the radiance of this divine moment, know that the gift God is bestowing upon you is not just a blessing. It's a divine commission. It's a sacred charge to carry His light into places where darkness has reigned, to bring hope where despair has lingered, to manifest His glory in ways that defy human understanding. You've walked through seasons of testing moments where your faith was stretched, your heart was tried, and your spirit was refined. Those seasons were not meant to diminish you. They were designed to elevate you, to prepare you for a gift so extraordinary that it will redefine your very existence. The heavens are rejoicing, the earth is trembling, and the universe is aligning to deliver what God has ordained for you. Blessing so vast, so powerful, that it will leave an indelible mark on the world. This divine gift is not just about what you receive. It's about what you radiate. As God pours out His favor, your life becomes a mirror reflecting His goodness, His power, His love. People will encounter you and feel something shift within them, a stirring in their spirit, a spark of hope, a glimpse of the divine. This is not about you seeking attention. It's about God using you as a vessel to draw others closer to Him. Your presence will carry a weight, an authority, a peace that transcends explanation. Philippians chapter 2 verse 15 states that you may be blameless and innocent children of God, without blemish in the midst of a crooked and twisted generation, among whom you shine as lights in the world. You are that light, chosen one, shining brightly in a world that needs your radiance. The enemy sees this light, and it terrifies them. They thought they could extinguish your fire cloud, your vision, silence your voice. But every attempt they made only fanned the flames of your faith. Every obstacle they placed in your path only strengthened your resolve. You've passed their tests, not because of your own power, but because the Spirit of God within you is greater than any force in this world. Zechariah chapter 4 verse 6 declares that, "Not by might nor by power, but by my Spirit, says the Lord Almighty." That Spirit is at work in you, chosen one, guiding you, empowering you, transforming you into a force that cannot be stopped. The enemy's schemes are crumbling, and your victory is shining through. This gift from God is a divine overflow, cascade of blessings that touches every corner of your life. It's not just about financial prosperity, though abundance will flow. It's not just about physical renewal, though your body will reflect His glory. It's about a spiritual elevation that lifts you to new heights of purpose, clarity, and impact. Imagine waking up each day with a sense of divine direction, knowing that every step you take is guided by God's hand. Imagine facing challenges with a peace that surpasses understanding, knowing that every need is already met. This is the life God is calling you to, a life where His provision is constant, His guidance is clear, and His favor is undeniable. As you embrace this gift, you'll notice a shift in your influence. The world will begin to see you differently, not as the person you once were, but as the chosen one you are becoming. Your words will carry a new weight, inspiring those who hear them. Your actions will spark change, uplifting those around you. Your presence will shift atmospheres, bringing peace where there was chaos, hope where there was despair. This is not about seeking power. It's about walking in the authority God has given you. You are being positioned as a leader not by the world's standards, but by God's design. People will look to you not because you demand it, but because they see the divine light shining through you. But let's be real, chosen ones. This journey requires sacrifice. To fully receive what God has for you, you must be willing to release what no longer aligns with His plan. Old mindsets that limit your vision, habits that hinder your growth, relationships that drain your spirit. They must fall away. This is not a loss. It's a divine exchange. God is replacing what is temporary with what is eternal, what is small with what is boundless, what is broken with what is whole. Isaiah chapter 43 verse 19 affirms that, "See, I am doing a new thing, now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland." God is making a way for you, chosen one, and the streams of His blessing are flowing into your life. This divine gift is also about vision. As God pours out His favor, He is opening your eyes to see what others cannot. You'll begin to notice opportunities where others see dead ends. You'll discern possibilities where others see problems. This is the gift of divine perspective, a clarity that allows you to navigate life with wisdom and purpose. The world may try to cloud your vision with doubt or distraction, but God is giving you eyes to see His plan, ears to hear His voice, and a heart to follow His leading. Proverbs chapter 16 verse 9 reminds us that in their hearts, humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps. Your steps are being established, chosen one, and they are leading you to a future filled with promise. The transformation you're experiencing is not just internal, it's external. As God works within you, His glory will begin to manifest outwardly. People will notice the change in your demeanor, the radiance in your appearance, the confidence in your presence. This is not about superficial beauty, it's about divine radiance. It's the kind of beauty that comes from being aligned with God's purpose, from walking in His truth, from living in His love. Your life will become a magnet, drawing others to the light within you. They'll sense the peace, the joy, the strength that emanates from your spirit. This is the power of God's gift. It transforms you from the inside out, making you a living testimony to His grace. Let's pause for a moment to anchor this truth. If you feel the fire of God's promise stirring in your soul, if you sense the shift happening in your life, hit that like button, subscribe to join thousands of chosen ones embracing their divine destiny, and drop a 1-1 in the comments. This is your declaration to the universe that you are ready to receive what God has prepared. Don't just listen, act. Let the heavens know you are claiming your divine inheritance. Now let's keep going, because the depth of this gift is still unfolding. This divine gift is not just about you. It's about the ripple effect you create. Every blessing you receive, every door God opens, every victory you claim is a testament to His power that touches those around you. Your transformation will inspire others to seek God, to trust His promises, to walk in faith. Think of David, who faced Goliath not just for his own victory, but to show a nation that God is faithful. Your life is becoming a similar testimony, a story of triumph that encourages others to believe in the impossible. You're not just receiving a gift. You are becoming a gift to the world, a vessel of God's love, a beacon of His hope. The enemy is watching this unfold, and they are trembling. They see the divine authority growing within you, the light shining brighter, the purpose taking shape. They tried to keep you small, to keep you doubting, to keep you bound. But their plans have failed. Psalm chapter 18 verse 29 states that, "With your help I can advance against a troop. With my God I can scale a wall." You are scaling walls, chosen one. You are advancing against every obstacle, every lie, every scheme. God's power is propelling you forward, and no force in heaven or earth can stop what He has started in you. This gift is also about abundance, not just in material wealth, but in every area of your life. God is pouring out blessings that overflow into your relationships, your health, your purpose. Imagine friendships that uplift and inspire, a body that radiates vitality, a calling that fills you with passion. This is the fullness of life God promised in John 10:10, a life abundant, vibrant, and overflowing with His goodness. You are stepping into a season where lack is replaced with provision, where weakness is replaced with strength, where confusion is replaced with clarity. This is not a distant dream. Chosen one, as you stand in the victory of having passed the test God set before you, and open your hands to receive the unprecedented blessings He has prepared, pause and feel the air change. The same faithfulness that carried you through the trial is now ushering in a week that defies ordinary expectations. What looks like just another Saturday on the calendar is actually a divine appointment, a hidden threshold where heaven has planted something extraordinary specifically for you. The reward you're stepping into isn't confined to a single moment. It's unfolding across the days ahead, and the next revelation will show you exactly how to position your heart to walk straight into the wonder that's already waiting. Stay expectant, stay prayerful, and keep moving forward, because the glory you've just claimed is about to multiply in ways you never imagined. Chosen one, what if I told you that this Saturday is not what it looks like on the calendar? That buried beneath the ordinary is a divine eruption waiting to unfold. That while the world calls it midweek, heaven has already marked it as a sacred intersection where your quiet hope collides with an unseen miracle. This is not just a Saturday. It's a turning point wrapped in disguise. It's not routine. It's a revelation. For days, maybe even years, you've been sowing seeds of faith in silence, smiling through battles, praying through exhaustion, hoping with no confirmation. But the silence hasn't been empty. It's been echoing through eternity. And now, beloved, the echo is returning as a wonder you didn't even know how to ask for. Yes, something wonderful has been waiting for you. Quietly, patiently, heaven set it aside with your name on it. And now, it's making its way to your doorstep, not a second too late, not a moment too early. Have you felt it in your spirit lately? That strange anticipation, that inner knowing that something is near, but you can't quite name it yet. That's not anxiety. That's alignment. That's what divine timing feels like in your bones. So if your soul has been stirred by this message already, don't hold it in. Wishes don't just float into the universe aimlessly. When whispered with trembling faith, especially during sacred thresholds like this Saturday, they gather momentum. They become prayers wrapped in divine timing, picked up by angelic winds and carried straight into the chambers of heaven. You may not see the movement yet, but chosen one, it's already begun. Because when God sets a moment aside just for you, not even the resistance of hell can delay it. And this Saturday is not ordinary. It's not a placeholder on your calendar. It is a divine dispatch marked with acceleration, orchestration, and manifestation. Why do you think your soul has felt such a strange restlessness lately? Why do you sense something rumbling beneath the surface, though your outer life still looks the same? It's because something sacred is about to erupt. Heaven has aligned a moment where all the delays will make sense not as punishment, but as divine positioning. Esther knew nothing of royal garments when she was chosen. She was hidden for years, orphaned, unknown. But when the time came, the king extended his scepter, not because she forced her way in, but because divine timing had already whispered her name through the palace halls. Esther. Chapter 4, verse 14 states, "And who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this? You too are being summoned not into noise, but into purpose, into a divine unveiling." So why this Saturday? What's so special about now? Because the alignment isn't random. You've walked through fire not just to survive, but to gain spiritual authority. And the fire didn't just refine you, it revealed you. Heaven has marked this moment to reveal what has been hidden in you. Not because you shouted for attention, but because you endured when no one was watching. There's a famous quote by the late bishop and social activist Desmond Tutu: "Hope is being able to see that there is light despite all of the darkness." Hope is not passive, it's prophetic. And you've been carrying it in silence like a flame in a storm. While others gave up and bowed out, you held the line. But not everyone chooses integrity in the wait. Jeffrey Skilling, former CEO of Enron, once sat atop one of the most powerful energy empires in the world. But behind the dazzling numbers was a carefully constructed illusion, a facade built on lies, deception, and greed. The fallout was catastrophic bankruptcy, federal prison, thousands of jobs lost, and trust shattered across an entire industry. When success is rooted in manipulation, exposure is inevitable. You chosen one are different. You didn't build with shortcuts. You built with surrender. In a small town, there's a woman named Lucinda who has been caring for special needs children for 25 years without ever seeking recognition. One Saturday morning, a philanthropist she once helped as a child anonymously paid off her mortgage and funded a center in her name. Why? Because love sowed in obscurity always returns multiplied in visibility. Something like that is circling your name. The earth knows this pattern by heart. The cicada, one of the loudest insects on earth, lives underground for up to 17 years in silence before it surfaces and sings. That hidden time isn't wasted, it's preparation. When it finally emerges, its timing is precise. It sounds unmistakable. Like you, it wasn't forgotten, it was timed. Could it be that every delay you faced was never about punishment, but protection? That every "not yet" was heaven's way of saying, "Not like this, not small, not with them, not without your full anointing. Chosen one." You're walking into a season where your name is being brought up in places your feet haven't touched yet. Strategic rooms, powerful hearts, divine conversations are unfolding right now. And your name carries weight in them. The preparation was private, the test was lonely, but the reward, it will be undeniable. 1 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 9 confirms that what no eye has seen, what no ear has heard, and what no human mind has conceived, the things God has prepared for those who love Him. You are not receiving this blessing because you begged hard enough. You're receiving it because you became the vessel that could carry it. You didn't collapse in bitterness. You didn't manipulate to accelerate. You waited, and now the wait is over. God is using this Saturday to prove that His promises are not forgotten scrolls. They are living, breathing, unfolding truths. And this week, one of them will touch earth with your name on it. What kind of surprise are we speaking of? Surely it's more than just a coincidence, more than luck wrapped in disguise. For the chosen ones, divine surprises never come randomly. They arrive like long-awaited answers, written in invisible ink across years of silence and surrender. They are the fruit of hidden obedience, the reward for standing firm when nothing made sense. They don't knock like strangers. They arrive like old friends whose presence your soul always anticipated. It might reach you as a phone call that unravels a string of delays, or maybe as an email that opens a long-shut door. Or perhaps it arrives more subtly in the form of peace that settles like dew upon your chaos. A calm so unnatural to your storm that it cannot be explained, only received. What if it comes not as a solution but as strength, not as a spotlight but as silence that finally feels safe? Don't overlook the gentle miracles, chosen one. That inner shift you feel, that sigh of relief you couldn't manufacture even if you tried. That sudden stillness in your chest amidst the noise of your world. That is the move of God. Philippians chapter 4 verse 7 mentions that the peace of God which surpasses all understanding will guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. And that's exactly what's approaching. Not a peace that waits for problems to disappear, but a peace that walks into the fire and says, "You don't scare me anymore." Remember Elijah the prophet who called down fire from heaven with bold authority. And yet, in his deepest hour of despair, he didn't encounter God in the wind or the earthquake or the blaze, but in a gentle whisper. 1 Kings chapter 19, verse 12, affirms that it was a gentle whisper. That's the kind of surprise you're about to experience. Not necessarily loud, but unmistakable. And just like Elijah, it will show up when you least expect it, but need it most. And don't be fooled by how ordinary this Saturday may appear. Divine days are often disguised in simplicity. The burning bush didn't look like a portal. It was just a bush until it spoke. The manger didn't look like a throne. It was just a feed trough until it cradled a king. What if your miracle looks like just another Saturday until it doesn't? Look at the life of Fred Rogers, the gentle television host who held space for millions of children to feel seen, safe, and valued. He didn't shout. He whispered, but his whisper echoed through decades. That's the power of quiet things done in sacred alignment, and your Saturday carries that kind of weight. A soft delivery, but a seismic impact. Now contrast that with Bernie Madoff, once hailed as a financial genius. His empire was built on deception, outwardly impressive, inwardly corroding. And when it all collapsed, it didn't just take money. It took peace, trust, and lives with it. When your motives are misaligned, even the best opportunities become curses. That's not your story. You've waited with integrity. You've suffered with grace. And now something clean, divine, and irreversible is making its way to you. Let's talk about a different kind of parable, a real one. William Kamwamba, a young boy in Malawi, had no money for school, no formal education, and no textbooks. But he had faith, curiosity, and vision. From scraps, bicycle parts, and determination, he built a wind turbine that brought electricity to his entire village. He was mocked, ignored, doubted. But he continued, and heaven met him halfway. Your life, chosen one, is on the edge of that kind of divine unveiling. A gift so impossible it can only be explained by one phrase: heaven remembered you. Or imagine Thomas, the quiet boat repairman in a fictional seaside village. For decades he served without recognition, patching up vessels, mending nets, and braving storm. Then one Saturday, a man whose life Thomas once saved during a storm returned. Not just with gratitude, but with provision. A new home, a business grant, a future. Not because Thomas asked, but because heaven doesn't forget humility. And just like Thomas, your reward is coming from a place you didn't see coming. What if the seeds you forgot you sowed are about to burst into bloom? Even nature knows how to wrap its wonders in silence. The moonflower doesn't open under the sun. It waits for the night. In the quietest hour, it unfurls its petals with dignity and mystery. It doesn't demand attention. It simply becomes. You are that bloom. And this Saturday is your midnight, where your soul opens to what has always been destined. Why now? Because the orchestration has already begun. This surprise is not random. It is rhythmic. It is not an accident. It is an appointment. Something wonderful is crossing the threshold of your life. Not merely because of need, but because it aligns with the frequency of your soul's original blueprint. This isn't about rescue, it's about recognition. Heaven is confirming that your name is still known, still spoken, still revered in spiritual places that matter more than platforms or applause. You may not understand the moment when it comes. You may feel tears without knowing why, but your soul will recognize the signal. You will pause, breathe, and something within you will say, "This is it. It just began." And you won't be wrong, because chosen one, you were never forgotten. You were simply being prepared for a surprise so precise, so personal, so divine, that only heaven could have written it. You have not been forgotten, not by heaven, not by destiny, not by the divine timeline that governs the chosen. You are not late. You are not off course. You are not being punished for something unseen. You're being positioned with precision, and while others seem to soar ahead, celebrated, platformed, elevated, you were hidden, still silent, but chosen one. That stillness was sacred. It wasn't stagnation, it was strategy. Because roots don't grow in applause. They grow in secret soil. You faced loss, the kind that reshaped your inner world. You faced silence that lasted longer than you thought your spirit could endure. You witnessed doors open for others while yours remained sealed. But in that long stretch of invisibility, something deeper was forming in you. Just as Jesus was in the tomb 3 days before resurrection, your silence wasn't death. It was gestation. And now, just when the enemy assumed your story had reached its final period, heaven is picking up the pen. This Saturday isn't just another chapter. It's the beginning of a whole new book. And this time your life will speak for itself. No press release, no justification, just undeniable favor, just quiet miracles that make noise in the spirit realm. Just a rising that doesn't require an audience to be real. You won't need to argue for your place, explain your process, or defend your past. God is about to set a table, and the presence of your enemies will not be a threat, they'll be witnesses. Psalm chapter 23 verse 5 declares that you prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Look at Joseph, betrayed by his brothers, imprisoned for doing the right thing, forgotten by those he helped. But when God moved, Joseph didn't climb his way up. He was summoned, elevated overnight, from a prison to a palace. Genesis chapter 41 verse 14 mentions that he was quickly brought from the dungeon. That's how favor moves. It doesn't ask permission. What if the struggle that once defined your path will no longer be required for what comes next? What if the miracles ahead don't match the pain behind? That's what's about to happen. You're not preparing for small shifts. You're preparing for divine overflow. The kind of joy that erupts without a warning. The kind of open doors that weren't even on your radar because you thought they were too good to ask for. Pope Francis, spiritual leader of over 1 billion souls, once said, "God always forgives, but the world doesn't." We must learn to trust grace more than applause. You've been trusting grace in the shadows, and now the grace is turning into tangible glory, but some chose shortcuts. Adam Neumann, the former CEO of WeWork, once stood at the pinnacle of startup success. Lavish praise, billions in valuation, but pride, ego, and reckless vision collapsed it all. His fall was as rapid as his rise. When ambition isn't anchored in integrity, it eventually self-destructs. You, however, chose integrity when it cost you progress. And now what seemed like delay is about to become acceleration. In a quiet mountain village, a man named Elijah tended sheep alone for 40 years. No audience, no recognition, only faithfulness. One Saturday, he was visited by a group of school children who had been rescued from a flood. They spoke his name, repeating stories their parents told of the man who once saved an entire town during a storm decades earlier. They handed him a plaque. But more than that, they handed him legacy. He thought he was forgotten. Heaven thought otherwise. Even the natural world confirms this principle. The bamboo tree takes 5 years before it breaks the surface. But once it does, it can grow 90 feet in 6 weeks. Its delay is not its death. Its delay is its depth. The years underground are what give it power to rise without crumbling. Just like you. You may have looked around and wondered, did I miss it? But what if you were never behind, only being built for something that required stronger shoulders? The blessing that's coming carries weight, and only those trained in silence, obedience, and endurance can carry it well. This Saturday is not a coincidence. It's a convergence. The promises you buried are about to bloom. The long preparation you resented is about to become your greatest advantage. And the very people who once dismissed you, they will bear witness. But vengeance is not your portion. Rest is because favor speaks louder than revenge ever could. Stay alert, stay surrendered, stay sensitive. What's making its way to you cannot be stolen, delayed, or denied. It was sealed with your name long before this moment. You may have felt invisible, but divine visibility is about to flood your world. You may have felt like the last, but God always reserves the most astonishing elevations for those who seemed left behind. Your preparation wasn't punishment. It was proof. And now, chosen one, you've been made strong in the quiet places for this exact unveiling. This Saturday, everything changes not by effort, but by appointment. Release the need to understand every detail. Let go of the pressure to manufacture what can only be received. What's coming is not a result of your strategy, it's the fruit of your surrender. The divine doesn't operate on spreadsheets or logic charts. It moves in mystery, in spirit, in faith. And right now, chosen one, you are being asked not to perfect, but to believe. You may not see how it's all coming together, but your belief is already pulling unseen forces into motion. Even if your faith feels fragile, even if your hope trembles under the weight of delay, it is enough. Matthew chapter 17 verse 20 states that Jesus once said, "If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, 'Move from here to there,' and it will move." Your tiny yes is stronger than the enemy's loudest no. You don't need certainty. You just need permission from yourself to expect again. So as this Saturday approaches, don't walk in fear. Walk in expectation. Don't scan the horizon in anxiety. Stand still in quiet assurance. What's arriving isn't late, it's layered. And it carries evidence that your stillness was never wasted. It was sacred positioning. There was a man named Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a preacher, prophet, and pioneer of civil rights. He didn't wait until the world was ready to believe. He believed when it was costly, when the systems were against him. He once said, "Faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase." You've been taking those steps, quiet ones, painful ones, brave ones. And now the staircase is appearing beneath your feet. But faith is a path some avoid entirely. Jordan Belfort, known as the Wolf of Wall Street, built his empire on manipulation and greed. What looked like success was rooted in deception. The collapse was inevitable. The money couldn't protect him. The lies couldn't save him. That's what happens when people chase elevation without transformation. You've been transformed in private. Now elevation is coming, not as a trap, but as a testimony. Somewhere in the hills of Colombia, a young woman named Sophia spent 10 years taking care of elderly villagers, using her own earnings to buy them food and medicine. One day, during a medical crisis, she was anonymously flown to a university in Spain, where she received a scholarship in public health and later returned to build a clinic for her people. She didn't chase glory. She walked in love, and heaven noticed. Even the earth itself mirrors this kind of sacred release. The snow leopard, elusive and nearly invisible, spends most of its life unseen by human eyes. Yet its impact on its ecosystem is undeniable. It moves in silence, but governs with strength. That's the surprise coming to you. It doesn't scream, but it speaks. And when it arrives, it will echo for years. Chosen one, this moment is not for you to explain. It's for you to experience. What's coming this Saturday is not merely a reward. It's a graduation, a shift, a holy reversal. Everything you thought was random will begin to align like constellations. Patterns you didn't recognize before will now point to purpose. This isn't payback, it's a prophecy unfolding. You've been walking as if nothing is changing, but heaven has been orchestrating shifts behind closed doors. There have been divine meetings about your life, about your name, your placement, your next step, and those decisions were made in your favor. Don't be surprised when you're called into rooms you never entered before. Don't be stunned if someone reaches out with an offer you never applied for. This is what divine reversals look like. This is a favor that moves faster than logic. It doesn't just restore, it multiplies. It redeems the years. Joel chapter 2 verse 25 confirms that I will restore to you the years the locusts have eaten. What you thought you had to chase, it's now chasing you. What you lost, it's returning dressed in acceleration. The people who doubted you, they're about to witness what happens when heaven marks a person for impact. This Saturday won't come wrapped in noise. It will wear stillness. It will be cloaked in simplicity, but its effects will be thunderous. You may cry, you may laugh, you may fall to your knees in awe. But one thing will be certain. You'll know, not in your mind, but in your spirit, that something written long before your struggle has now come into bloom. You're not broken. You're being sculpted. You're not forgotten. You were reserved. And you're not late. You were hidden for the sake of timing. And now that timing has arrived, stay soft, stay aware, stay spiritually open. Because not all divine arrivals come with trumpet blasts or scrolls from heaven. Some come in whispers. Some arrive as a sudden sense of clarity in a conversation you almost dismissed. Some come as unexpected joy in the middle of a regular walk. Some come as a moment of silence that suddenly feels full of meaning. Chosen one, the surprise marked for this Saturday won't wear flashy clothing, but its fragrance will linger in your spirit long after the moment passes. This isn't just a possibility, it's a prophetic promise. What feels like a normal Saturday may be carrying a holy assignment. Are you ready to recognize it? Even if it's dressed in simplicity, because the answers you've cried for, begged for, waited for, they're not being postponed anymore. They're arriving wrapped in presence, not performance. God is restoring the language of your soul. What once confused you will start to untangle. The fog that made you question your path is lifting. You're not stumbling anymore. You're stepping. Psalm chapter 25 verse 14 mentions that the Lord confides in those who fear him. He makes his covenant known to them. Heaven has been confiding in your spirit long before your eyes saw the evidence. And now your body, your mind, and your journey are catching up with what your soul already knows. Alignment is here. There's a woman named Leela, a piano teacher in her 60s who spent decades helping others find their voice in music. Her own dream of recording an album faded long ago. But one afternoon during a casual lesson with a young producer's daughter, her voice was overheard. That same Saturday, she received an invitation to record. It wasn't luck, it was a divine memory. Sometimes heaven writes songs through lives that thought they'd been silenced. The old weight you've been carrying, the one no one saw. The one that shaped your posture, your boundaries, your hope. That weight is lifting now, not in pieces, not someday, but now. You've carried it with honor. You've let it teach you, refine you, but it's no longer needed. Like a snake shedding its skin, your soul is discarding what no longer fits the version of you that is emerging. Steve Jobs, innovator and visionary, once said, "You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backward. But the chosen one, something rare is about to happen. God is letting you see the dots while they connect in real time." That's the kind of favor you're walking into. Present tense transformation. You won't have to wait 10 years to understand this moment. You'll feel it as it's happening. Now contrast this with Harvey Weinstein, once a powerful film producer in Hollywood, surrounded by fame, influence, and wealth. But beneath the surface lay decades of abuse, manipulation, and oppression. When truth finally broke through, it shattered not just his empire, but the illusions many built around him. His downfall was public, permanent, and prophetic. A loud reminder that power without purity destroys more than it builds. And you, chosen one, have been forged in purity. That's why this Saturday will not break you, it will lift you. Even the earth itself mirrors what's coming to you. The Arctic poppy. A flower that survives brutal wind and thrives in cold terrain turns daily to track the sun. Even when hidden behind clouds, it instinctively orients toward light. And you too have followed light, even when all you had was memory. Your soul has stayed facing the warmth of heaven, and now that light is coming to meet you fully. But here's the question that matters now. Will you be present enough to embrace what's arriving, even if it doesn't look like what you expected? Don't let old wounds interpret new blessings. Don't let what failed before convince you that you are still unworthy. You are not the same person who was overlooked, betrayed, or abandoned. That version of you is gone. What remains is someone refined by spiritual fire. Someone who no longer begs for crumbs, but knows they carry royal blood. Isaiah chapter 43 verse 19 declares, "Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? That's the energy of this Saturday. A new thing, quiet but unstoppable, divine but personal, gentle but undeniable. This moment, this Saturday, is not ordinary. It is holy. It's a spiritual shift that will begin subtle but spread like sunrise. You'll feel it in your bones, in your chest, in your breath, and you won't question if it's real because your soul already recognizes the sound of answered prayers. The world may not notice it right away, but your heart will. Your peace will be the confirmation. It won't feel foreign. It'll feel like home. Because in truth, your spirit has always known this was coming. Heaven has just been waiting for your readiness. That's why you kept showing up even when no one noticed. That's why you didn't quit when surrendering would have been so much easier. There was a knowing buried in your bones. A quiet whisper that said, "Wait, hold on, it's coming." And now it's here. The surprise that's approaching this Saturday may not answer every question, but it will confirm the one thing your soul needed most. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible to heaven. You are not late to your destiny. This moment is not a coincidence. It's a covenant. It is a quiet yet profound reply to every silent tear, every unseen act of obedience, every night you held your own heart together when no one else did. Will it fix everything instantly? Maybe not, but it will ignite the shift your spirit has long been stretched toward. It will be the wind that turns embers into flame. All it takes is one moment to remind you that God has been orchestrating what you thought was chaos. Romans chapter 8 verse 28 affirms that, "And we know that all things work together for good, to those who love God, to those who are called according to His purpose." You are part of that purpose. Let go of your grip on control. This isn't about making it happen through hustle, calculation, or strategy. This is the current of divine ease flowing from alignment, not effort. You are in the right place at the right time with the right heart posture. And because of that, blessings are beginning to chase you down. Not out of pity, but because of preparation. Not because you proved yourself, but because you finally stopped needing to. There's a kind of favor that rushes in when striving stops. And this Saturday will be the evidence. This isn't just divine timing, it's divine agreement. What would have taken years in the realm of toil is about to happen in days because you surrendered instead of forcing it. Do you know what makes this moment so powerful? You didn't manipulate your way here. You were faithful. You didn't rush doors open. You waited. You didn't perform for worth. You lived from it. And now, heaven is responding to what doesn't need to be loud, to be holy. Corrie. 10. Boom, a Dutch watchmaker who hid Jews during World War II, once said, "Never be afraid to trust an unknown future to a known God." You've done that. You've trusted through uncertainty, and now you're stepping into the reward of that courage. But let us not forget what happens when power is misused. Harvey Weinstein, once a towering figure in Hollywood, used his influence not to lift others, but to oppress and silence. His fall wasn't just a scandal, it was a spiritual reckoning, because what is built on abuse must eventually collapse under the weight of truth. You chosen one are rising not on manipulation, but on integrity. That's why your elevation will last. A woman named Imani, a seamstress in Nairobi, used to walk 2 miles each day to deliver handmade school uniforms to children in the slums. She did it for years, unnoticed and unpaid. One day, a journalist caught her story, and within a week she was flown to Paris to design for an ethical fashion house. She didn't chase the spotlight, but destiny chased her. Even creation bears witness. The Mimosa pudica, also known as the sensitive plant, closes its leaves when touched. Self-protective, cautious, but once it senses safety and light, it opens fully again. You've been through seasons that made you close up, but now, safety has arrived. Light has returned. You're opening again, and this time no one will be able to shut you down. The shift you feel isn't imaginary, it's insight. That discomfort in your soul isn't anxiety, it's activation. You're not losing control, you're entering alignment. Isaiah chapter 60 verse 22 states that when the time is right, I the Lord will make it happen. And now God says, the time is right. This Saturday is not a repeat of yesterday's disappointments. It's not a recycled lesson. It's a new root system breaking the surface. It's a divine interruption, a redefinition one that doesn't just give you something. It reveals who you've become. You felt unseen in rooms where you poured out. You were overlooked by people you carried. You prayed for others while your own soul bled in silence, and yet you stayed loyal to the calling. That's why this blessing will be sacred. It won't come because of applause, but because of heaven's yes. What heaven approves, no man can revoke. And when it's time for delivery, the process cannot be sabotaged. So prepare not just your schedule, but your soul. Prepare to stand under the weight of worthiness. Prepare to be reminded of how divinely loved, fully seen, and undeniably chosen you've always been. Will you allow this surprise to expose your true value? Can you hold space for the magnitude of what's coming? You don't need to beg anymore. You don't need to chase. You don't need to defend yourself in spaces that were never built to contain your future. You will no longer knock on doors hoping to be let in. Doors will open as you arrive. Not because they're impressed, but because you're ordained. This Saturday is not just about receiving. It's about embodying peace, power, purpose. The people who once disregarded you will speak your name with reverence. Not because they've changed, but because you have. And when the room shifts, it's not noise that announces you. It's presence. When the blessing comes, it won't need to be explained. Your life will preach what your lips never had to say. Chosen one, the manifestation is here. Not in concept, but in reality. Not in delay, but in now. There's a reason the battle bruised you so deeply. Why the warfare seemed never-ending. Why the nights felt heavier than they should have. It wasn't because you were weak. It was because you were chosen. The pressure was never punishment. It was a prophecy trying to push through you. The enemy didn't rage against you now. He raged against your next. He thought if he could wear you down, he could make you walk away right before your door opened. But you didn't break. You bent, but you didn't break. You cried, but you kept believing. You doubted, but you still showed up. What the enemy miscalculated was your resilience. What hell never accounted for was your divine memory. Your soul remembered what God whispered before the battle ever began. And now, because you didn't fold, you've outlived the resistance. What if the reason the warfare was so intense was because the victory was so historic? This Saturday will not come to take something from you. It's arriving to deliver justice. Not the loud kind that shouts in headlines, but the silent kind that shifts atmospheres. The kind of justice that doesn't need an explanation because the results speak louder than defense. Isaiah chapter 54 verse 17 declares that no weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue which rises against you in judgment you shall condemn. You don't have to argue. Your elevation will be your answer. The ones who doubted you will be silent, not because you forced them to be, but because truth silences lies. The ones who tried to block you will realize your promotion wasn't theirs to withhold. And your next level, it won't require revenge. It will only require stillness. Elevation is the loudest silence there is. Nelson Mandela, once a prisoner, later a president, didn't seek vengeance against those who caged him. He sought peace, purpose, and national rebirth. He once said, "It always seems impossible until it's done." Chosen one, what felt impossible in past seasons is now finished in the spirit. The struggle did not stop your purpose. It refined it. Contrast this with Lance Armstrong, a cycling legend whose victories were built on deception. He was once revered, but when the truth surfaced, his legacy unraveled. Public applause can't preserve what dishonesty corrupts. That's why your path, though hidden and hard, will outlast counterfeit success. You didn't cheat to get here. You obeyed. In a mountain village in Peru, a man named Mateo spent 15 years planting trees along barren hillsides with no government support, no fame, no applause. Decades later, those trees prevented a landslide that would have wiped out the valley. His quiet obedience saved thousands. He never expected recognition, but what he sowed in faith became salvation. The giant redwood tree, one of the tallest on earth, has shallow roots until it interlocks underground with others. Its strength isn't in solitude, it's in unity. That's why you've survived. Not because you were always strong, but because you remained connected to God, to vision, to truth. What if this Saturday is the day it all makes sense? What if it's not just a surprise? It's the moment clarity walks through your door and says, "I've been waiting for you." What if the version of you that struggled, sacrificed, stayed hidden, is finally ready to rise? The pain didn't disqualify you, it prepared you. The opposition didn't cancel the promise, it confirmed it. What if everything that nearly destroyed you was actually developing the voice you're about to speak with, the confidence you're about to carry, the freedom you're about to embody? Psalm chapter 66, verse 12 confirms that we went through fire and water, but you brought us to a place of abundance. This Saturday is your moment of abundance. Not just in possessions, but in perspective, peace, and power. You are walking into cycles being broken, cycles you didn't even realize were holding you. You'll feel it in your bones. You'll sense it in your conversations. You'll see it in how your mind clears up like morning fog lifting over still waters. And what if your story, your very survival, is becoming someone else's instruction manual for faith? You didn't just endure, you evolved. You became someone who is no longer afraid of delay because you've seen what God does with time. You're no longer triggered by silence because you've felt what He builds in quiet. That's why your miracle will feel personal, because it's not answering a random need. It's answering a sacred assignment. Don't rehearse your pain anymore to justify your breakthrough. You don't need to prove you've earned it. You've embodied it. This blessing is not about earning. It's about alignment. You are standing in the frequency of your calling, and heaven has tuned in. The moment you believed restoration was possible, heaven began preparing it. Chosen one. If your spirit has been stirring while listening to this message, that's not a coincidence. It's confirmation. Confirmation that this Saturday is more than just another date on the calendar. It is a divine threshold, a sacred hinge in time where your preparation meets God's perfect orchestration. What's coming isn't random. It's been waiting for you to be ready. And beloved, you are ready now. You've endured the silence, carried the unanswered prayers, held on to hope, even when nothing around you shifted. But just because it was silent doesn't mean heaven was still. Just because it was hidden doesn't mean it was denied. Something wonderful has been quietly forming behind the veil, tailored for your soul, timed for your faith, and destined for this very moment. This is your reminder. Don't underestimate what can change in a day. Don't dismiss the power of a Saturday anointed by eternity. And above all, don't let discouragement blind you to divine movement. Because while it may look ordinary to others, heaven has already stamped it as extraordinary for you. If this word resonated with you, if it felt like a divine whisper echoing what you've been sensing deep within, then comment 111 right now as your public agreement. Declare it, seal it, let heaven and earth witness your alignment. Comment if you're ready for your Saturday wonder. Like this message if it stirred something in your soul. Share it with someone else who might need the reminder that miracles have appointments too. Subscribe if you haven't already, so you never miss another divine message right on time. Your time, your energy, and your faith are honored here. Now, may Saturday meet you not with pressure, but with peace, not with stress, but with sacred surprises. May you walk into that day carrying quiet expectation, holy awareness, and bold trust, because something wonderful is waiting, and it's been waiting for you all along. Blessings over you, beloved. See you on the other side of the miracle.